Top of the top, YouTube. We're going to get right into it. This right here is a viewer request or a subscriber request. But real quick, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And drop a like for your boy as I bring content that others may not bring to you, as well as a couple of things. Right now, for a subscriber on ticker symbol PRZO, I guess it's Parazero Technologies or Parazero. You get the point. I tried to put a little twang in it, but yeah, we'll get straight to the charts and just say ticker symbol PRZO. Now I know a little bit about this company already, because I don't really invest in penny stocks, but I may trade them every now and then. And this one did pop up a few months back, but it definitely popped up last month in December. I didn't trade it, however. But I do recall they had some news in regards to, so first off, what they do is they are a defense stock, in a sense, something dealing with drones. Again, I know a little about the company. I focus on the charts. I pay attention to what the company does, or I look into what the company does, and I may follow some of the news, but ultimately I go with the charts, although news is a catalyst that makes stocks move. However, last month, I believe they got like a massive order or contract with Australia for their technology or for actual drones. Because I did look into some of their news prior to see what else is going on with the company over the past few months. I didn't go back as far as I probably should have, but I did see in November that they also sealed a deal with some Middle Eastern country as well as a major automaker for their technology in regards to their drone. But let's jump right into the chart. As you can see here, PRZO, I ain't gonna even go there again. PRZO is currently at $2.03, or it closed at $2.03 on December 31st, New Year's Eve. And then obviously the market was closed yesterday for New Year's. So once again, to anybody new to the channel, Happy New Year's. If you've already been here, drop a comment below saying everybody eats. You know how we get down over here, man. But it previously closed on December 30th, as you can see on the screen as well, at $2.44. So it was down 16%, which is pretty big. But again, it's a penny stock. That's kind of how they move, man. You could be down 16% on December 31st, and then today, January 2nd, it could be up 32%, double, or even 50%. After it had a 16% pullback. You never know. That's how penny stocks move. It's a pretty small company, though. However, market cap is 22 million. Average volume is pretty decent, so it's not really low. So it has some liquidity, has some attention. The 52-week low was 49 cents. 52-week high was $3.16, which I believe that high was recent, like last week, possibly. So it kind of been. Well, not kind of. It has been on a downtrend since it hit that 52-week high. And I believe the float is 9 million. I was looking at the chart on Webull, and again, because a subscriber requested this. And the float is 9.01 million. So again, a pretty small company. But as I was looking at the chart on Webull, I noticed it gapped up. And as traders and investors, we ultimately know that when stocks gap up, they have to come back down the field, or they usually come back down the field. They don't have to. But it gapped up from on November 27th. It closed at 64 cents. And that was 11/27 on a Wednesday. And then so that's the day before Thanksgiving. And then on 11/29, that Friday, Black Friday, it opened up at 99 cents. So closed at 64, opened up at roughly $1. It went as high as $1.74, and then it closed at $1.24. And ever since then, it kind of went up again, nice little wick there. Then it pulled back and kind of was in a range. In a range from $1.30, we can say, to $2. And it came back down again. Then it also gapped up again. So the first gap never filled, as you can see, which is all the way down at 64 cents. But it closed on December 17th at $1.53, went as high as $1.58. But it closed at $1.53, and it opened up on December 18th, which is actually the FOMC, when the market actually pulled back. So it opened up at $2.17. So it went from $1.53 to $2.17 the next day, went as high as $2.77, low as $2.06, but it closed at $2.15. Now in the pre-market right now on January 2nd, it's currently trading in the pre-market at $2.10. So it's up 3.45% in the pre-market, which is equivalent to 7 cents. However, on that December 18th day, after it gapped up, it pulled back down, but it still didn't fill that initial gap because it went as low as 168 and it closed at 176. But I believe on December 17th, it was like 150 or something like that. It closed at 153. So it still never filled that gap, but it tried to ride the 9 EMA, and it went as high as, again, $3.16, which is actually December 27th, last Friday. So I knew it was basically a week ago. And ever since then, it pulled back. Monday, December 30th, was a very big red day. Not a very big red day, but it went from 280 to 238. And then on December 31st, it went from 245 as low as $1.92 and then to 203. So if you look at here on this chart on the daily, it could be trying to test that 21-day moving average at $1.79, $1.80, which would make a little bit of sense because that's the body of the candle on December 9th. So it could be going to test that 21-day moving average at $1.80. And if we look at the chart actually all the way, oh yeah, I have a line of support drawn at $1.65, $1.66, and another one at $1.27. To be honest though, if it goes below $1.50, that's not too good if you ask me, because if we recall, that's where that gap up was at. And it could be making its way down to fill that gap. That's pretty far though, man, at 76 cents. But it's a penny stock, you never know what can happen. News could come out, they could do an offering because they only got 9 million float. The list could go on. So that's that in that aspect in regards to the chart. Now it's 8 o'clock in the morning in the pre-market, which now would drop down to 205, which makes sense because that's when a lot of the brokers, up and went back to 210, but a lot of the brokers are now open. So that was on the daily chart. If I look at the 4-hour chart real quick, now the 4-hour chart, I'm actually liking because on the 4-hour chart, we have my personal moving average that I like, that I learned from Ian Dunlap, the master investor, which is the 72-day moving average. I don't really use the 50. I mean, I could use the 50, but I like the 72 more because it's kind of like higher than the 50 and lower than the 100. So it's kind of in the range where you really get an idea, okay, all right, now this is where I could be at. And when it had its initial breakout, it actually crossed up over the 72-day moving average when it gapped up. That was again on November 29th. But then it came back down and retested the 72-day moving average at that $1.25 support or so, and it bounced off. And then it kind of consolidated for a bit, and then again, the 72-day moving average is where it bounced off, and I mean, that's where the rocket ship just took off. And it was on December 17th where it bounced off again. The 9 to 21 and the candles itself bounced off the 72-day moving average. So if we follow the trend up, it did go. So it's high in regards to when the market was open was $3.16, but its actual high in pre-market went as high as $3.37. But it pulled all the way back to the 72-day moving average again on December 20th. It bounced off of it, and then it bounced off the 72-day moving average again on December 23rd. So if we go with the trend right now, and it bounced off the 72-day moving average again on, what day is this? December 31st. So when it did pull down and went as low as $1.92, that's when it bounced over the 72-day moving average. And right now it's kind of looking like it may test it again. But if it tests too many times and actually don't hold on the 72-day moving average, then it could be going down and go down to that 200 moving average, which is at that support 125, 126 area. So when it comes to PRZO, if you're currently in it right now, not financial advice, but if you haven't taken any profits yet, I consider maybe doing so, with it being near that $2 solid psychological number. Let me go look at it on TradingView real quick. And back at 210, so 210 is looking good, which as you can see here, if I zoom in, I don't know if you can notice this yellow line here, that's the pre-market. And it's at 210. And the 50-day moving average is at 210 also. So that may count as a resistance. Also with this candle here, you see it wick to 210 on December 31st, which is the day that it actually had that 16%, 17% decline. So, I mean, again, I would consider maybe taking some off the top, just in case if we pull back to that dollars area or so to possibly get some more at that level, or to see if it goes to $1.25. But me personally, I would take off. I'll wait if I'm already in, but I still would trim some profit and see where it goes when market opens, because the market today is pretty strong. Crypto's looking good. The overall market itself is looking good. Let's see, the dollar's still strong though. That's the scary part. Oh, okay, nope. It did look good, but it's pulling back. I believe we got some information, some data coming out, and then the NASDAQ is pulling back. While I'm here, I'm actually gonna, and it's on a 5-minute chart. I don't like doing this, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna do it while I'm here. I'll make that solid. Could just say roughly 21,500. Make that solid. It's at the body of this candle. This wick stopped at the body of this one though. And at the top of that wick, 21,425. We'll do that, and then we'll make that back to a dash line. See. And then ultimately, right here, I'm gonna make that green. This is for me for later on throughout the day, because I follow the futures obviously when I'm trading. I'll keep it as a line, as a dash, because who knows, it could change. I don't want to make it a solid line now. But anywho, that's it for PRZO. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. There is a link for the Patreon below, $5 a month. That's just to support me and the channel. Also for me to be able to give you free content like this on a daily basis. Stocks requests, things of that nature. If you haven't, check out my previous video on stocks to buy in 2025. And also the crypto rally, to see if we get another crypto rally, since we had one after the Trump administration. See if we get another one going, and how 2025 is going to pan out in regards to crypto. But again, hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a like for your boy. All right, let's get to it, man. Once again, everybody eats.